Okay. The past 2 days, we have been talking about perfect squares and square roots. Today, we are going to talk about what we call perfect cubes. Okay, so the cube of an integer is a perfect cube. The exponent is 3. We're on page 2.
2.
Okay, but now we're gonna go to page 4. What were you trying to tell me as you were yawning? All right. So 1 cubed means 1 times 1 times 1, which is 1. 2 cubed means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. I hope you're writing this down with me. 3 cubed means 3 times 3 times 3, which is what? 27. This is page 4 now. Jacob, you should get yours out also. Jacob, you need yours out also. Okay. We're taking notes. Jacob, get your notes out. 4 cubed is 4 times 4 times 4. Anybody know it? 64. 6 times 6 is 16. Excuse me, 4 times 4 is 16 times 4, which is 64. Okay. It sure is.
Dang.
5 times 5 times 5 means 5 cubed, which is 125. 6 cubed is 6 times 6 times 6, which is 216. 7 cubed is 7 times 7 times 7, which is 343. 8 cubed is 8 times 8 times 8, 512. 9 cubed is 9 times 9 times 9, which is 729. And 10 cubed is 10 times 10 times 10, which is 1,000.
Oh my God.
Times 10.
Watch, you have no reason. Just do it. You need to go. Yeah.
Okay, so now what I'd like you to do is go back to page 2 and fill this out right here. Go back to page 2 and we're filling this out.
There's like, can you go upstairs? Can I do what? Can you like go to the door and give me this special zero request?
Why?
Because I didn't ask for something.
Let me just check out the study. Wait, something's outside.
Like Tony's. Now, on Thursday, we talked about square roots being like the undo of a square. So now we're going to talk about undoing a cube, which is going to be called a cube root. Okay, and you can see what the symbol is down here. It's like a square root, but with a cute little 3 at the check mark. That's going to signify, hey, we want the cube root. It means, hey, let's undo a perfect cube. Ew, I do not need your dogs out.
Don't even play.
Put your shoes on. That's really gross. Really gross.
You are, why'd you touch that?
Okay, now, unlike perfect squares, or I guess unlike cubed, I can't even say the right word. Unlike square roots, all integers only have one cube root. Let's talk about why. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the fact that like since 4 cubed is 64, then we're gonna say the cube root of 64 is 4. Okay, that's where we're going with this. Okay, now help me out with 8. What number to the 3rd power gives us 8? What? 2. 2 times 2 times 2 gives us 8. So the cube root of 8 is 2. Now, here's the difference. Here's the difference. -8. If we take -2 times -2 times -2, we get -8. So we can have a negative under our cube root, and that's going to give us a negative answer. That's different. That is different than our square roots. Yes. Okay, we're gonna go back to page 4. Okay, and we're gonna talk about these cube roots right here. Okay, so since 1 cubed is 1, the cubed root of 1 is 1. Since 2 cubed is 8, the cube root of 8 is, yes, you will. You gotta stay with us, bud. I'm going slow. Okay. 3 cubed is 27. So what's the cube root of 27? Okay.
4, 5, 6.
What's the cube root of 216?
4, 5, 6.
216. 6. I tricked you, Caesar. What's the cube root of 729?
9.
Good. What's the cube root of 125? What's the cube root of 1,000?
10.
What's the cube root of 512? Cube root of 64. And the cube root of 343 is 7.
Yeah, even Miss Homie's calling me too.
He said he's gonna.
Okay, so go back to page 2. Okay, so we're gonna look at these down here. The cube root of 64. Kanaya, what would that equal? 4, yep. Okay, then we have the cube root of 343. Kaden, what is that gonna be? 7. Okay, be careful. The cube root of negative 27. Ooh, negative 3, I like it. Everybody, what's the cube root of negative 1? I heard. So what's the cube root of 512?
2.
Ooh,